Hello, happy Wednesday. I've been thinking a lot about the times that we're in, and I've been thinking about if I could just get God in the room for 5 minutes, what questions would I ask God? I think a lot of people are hurting right now. I think things haven't gotten better for us. And in fact, the COVID numbers are going up. People are getting sick, and in our area, we've had an outbreak in our hospital, and so it's very difficult in those kinds of circumstances to have hope. And so we begin when we lose our hope to question God. How can God let this happen? Why is God letting this happen? What are we going to do? How is God going to help us? Have any of you had those thoughts? I know I have. And it's okay. I think those are natural questions to ask at a time like this. We're under a lot of stress and pressure, and things aren't looking like they're going to get a whole lot better. And we're heading into winter on top of it. We're heading into this weekend, which is going to be very stormy, possibly losing our power. And you begin to wonder that dreaded sentence that we dare not utter. What else can go wrong? I think if I were to have God in a room and ask God a question, I would ask, God, tell me all of the ways that you love me. Because maybe I'm not aware of all of the ways that God shows love to me on a daily basis. Sometimes when things are going really wrong, it's hard to see God's love. It's hard to see that God cares for us. And so if God points them out to me, maybe I don't lose hope so easily. And we think, well, I can't ask that question of God. You know, if you have that specific question like, God, why did you let my child die? God, why can't I have children? God, why did you take away my job? God, why did you give me alcoholism? God, why did you not make my wife love me? Whatever it is that you question and you want to ask God, as Methodists, it's important that we know we can ask those questions. That questioning God doesn't mean that we don't have faith. It just means that we have questions. And it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to talk to God on a daily basis and ask those questions. Now, do we think we're going to hear an answer? What do you think? Yes, we will. Always. Maybe not the booming voice from heaven that a lot of us want to hear and wish we could hear. To make it very clear, I've always told God, now remember, God, Crystal needs a neon sign answer flashing, please, because I may not get it otherwise. But sometimes our answers come in the subtleties, like in the words of someone we meet in the line at the grocery store, someone that we see on the internet, something someone says in a letter or in a note or a card. God can speak through people, and I believe that God does speak through people. And so if we keep our eyes and ears open and our hearts and our minds open, we can hear those answers in the words and actions of others. Sometimes we have to look very carefully, but I think if we look really hard, even on those toughest of days, even at the times when we think, I can't take it another day. God is there for you. I'm recalling a joke, and I've told this joke a million times, so if you've heard it, I still think it's one of the funniest, most ironic jokes I've ever heard in my life. And it's this. There's a storm coming, and they warn the residents of this city to evacuate their homes. And they go door by door. The first responders go door by door, and they say, "We're evacuating. Please evacuate. We've got this truck for you. Get on the truck." And a person comes out of their house and says, "Oh, that's okay. God will save me." And then the floods come, and the waters start to rise, and the person goes to the second floor of their house, and someone comes up in a boat because there's so much water, and they say, "We're evacuating you. We brought this boat. Get in the boat. We'll take you away." And the person in the house says, "That's okay. God will save me." And then they're up on the roof, and the water is closing in, and a helicopter comes and drops a rope and says, "Grab the rope, we'll pull you up." And the person says, "That's okay, God will save me." Then the person is in heaven and asks, "Why didn't you save me, God?" And God says, "I sent a truck, a boat, and a helicopter. What more do you want?" I love that joke. And I think about it every time I think we don't hear an answer from God. Every day that we live, we hear answers, or we could hear answers if we had our ears, our eyes, our hearts, and our minds open. So I hope that this has made you think. I hope that you will begin to communicate with God and keep in touch with God and ask those hard questions that maybe you are a little scared to ask. And I hope that all of you are well and good and know that you are prayed for and loved. See you next time.